All right, we're
So,
live.
Dennis, we're live, right?
Yes, we are live, man. Live and kicking.
Right, right, there you have it. We're live and kicking, and what a feeling it is to be alive, you know? How you feeling over there, Dennis? Tell us where you are and what's going on that side.
Yeah, I'm here in Virginia, Northern Virginia, closer into DC. It's pretty good over here. Sun hot, humid, but we're still
When you
alive
say
and kicking.
when you say hot, is it Florida hot, Jamaica hot, or just Virginia real hot, or how it is?
Uh, yeah, I want to say no, not Florida and Jamaica hot. I think it's hot enough that people have to take shelter, I guess, sometime because they're not used to this type of weather a lot of times. So I think it's hard for us who lives here.
All right, Dennis. As an athlete, I want to throw a question out there. Heat, climate, different
Mm.
environmental condition. How does it affect an athlete? 'Cause with all the different changes and so forth, does that affect the athlete performance?
Well, it can. It can. For example, I can talk about my own experience. When I left Jamaica, of course, Jamaica is tropical, so I left Jamaica in the heat, and it so happened that when I got my scholarship and came to abroad, I came in the fall, which was I think that was the worst time for any athletes to really get a scholarship and leave because you when you come right into the cold weather. So that's what happened to me when I got here first, many years ago. Yes, it can affect an athlete performance. It did affect mine, coming from the tropics to winter and snow, put a damper on my performance. Hence, I was placed on probation. So it did affect my performance. Not only that, but also the food. The food was also a challenge for me as well. Getting used to the food here, that was also a major challenge. And the different level, the different coaching style dynamics changed from my high school coach to a college coach. It was a total different experience.
So basically, there's a lot of things that affects the athlete. So somebody who was in Jamaica and say you're running, I'm just gonna throw it out there, 10-5,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden you travel over. You're going at the cool, the food not right, all of them something there, and your time drop. Do you think that people who like watch you like from boys champs and having that high expectation, when they see such a drop in time before you adjust, how does that affect the athlete? Because people gonna start talking.
Hmm.
So how did that affect like you in your case?
Yeah, because when I left Jamaica, I was running like 46 relay leg, 47 flat quarter mile. And like I said before, I could barely make 50 points. I wasn't even running close to my time, and I was placed on probation. Um, Again, when there's a big stigma with people who get scholarship and don't do well, and some of them, lose their scholarship and went back home and all that type of thing. So for me, that it was a no-brainer. I wasn't gonna let that happen to me. So what I did was I trained twice a day until I make all the national teams. Um, and we have some great athletes, man. We have athletes. Honestly, I believe that Coach Steve Sylvie is one of the best recruiter. He recruit athletes from all over the globe, and they were top athletes, top performers. I mean, when we go to track meet, the our shirt will already have the year on the back, and we haven't even competed yet. That's how confident we were when we go to a track meet. Yeah.
Well, if I could share a little, when I came here and playing cricket in Jamaica, and when I got to the US, I played my first cricket match, and that was something else. Right here in Florida, the sun was scorching hot. I heard that Florida was hot, but being in Jamaica and playing Kingston, straight back to States at Santa Cruz, what we think was hell, the hottest place we believe, until I went to Melbourne and play up there. I have to be throwing water on my shoe. But I never, let me lift my hand. I never used to wear a cap, a baseball cap or anything. This is just me. So came up here young and running, full of energy. Went out there in Palm Beach here on the cricket field without any cricket cap. Dennis, when I was finished, I could feel like heat literally coming out of my forehead and it feels
Mm.
scorching. You see, by the following day, it was crispy. And by third day, I could start peeling myself over the forehead.
Wow.
That's that's how rough it was. So people probably don't even know why I love wearing a cap. It's like in Florida here, and that I start wearing a cap every single game. There's no game I'm going out there cap. That after a while, baseball cap become like a part of my uniform here. That's how
Mm.
rough it was with that
Yeah.
weather. So I end up just loving baseball caps. People sometimes see me with it, thinking I play for a particular team. I don't know if they height or anything, but it just that love for cap now was driven by the heat and the change in condition environment that really pushed me to make sure me have on my hat.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It and Texas again is always hot. So that's where I was in Texas. So the heat in Texas was that was another thing, man.
All
But
right. You
when I
also mentioned a very important thing, Dennis. You talk about the food, but I'm gonna put it in term that people would talk when you talk track and field. Nutrition.
Mhm.
Now, how important is that nutrition when it comes down to an athlete and their training and their program that they're on? How important is that?
Well, I think nutrition is one of the key elements for good performance. If you are expecting to be a professional athlete, you have to watch your diet. You have to watch what you eat. A lot of times you hear coaches say, "Well, you're young, you can eat whatever you can eat, you know, whatever you want to eat because you're young, you're going to work it off." But I don't think that is a good saying for athletes who want to be professional athletes. One thing I do know that while I was at Blinn College, I mean, I'm coming from Jamaica. I didn't really have diet and nutrition on my mind. You know, you just eat whatever. But I know for a fact that when I while I was at Blinn College, he would like weeks before we go to the nationals, he would take us out to eat, and we would eat like spaghetti. We'd load up with complex carbohydrates, so we'd have like a lot of spaghetti, potatoes, before we go after the national championship. Um, and again, you kind of know, like for me, I kind of know that okay, this is something good, but didn't really know the full importance of nutrition in running. Um, Hence, I didn't eat a lot of burgers and stuff like that. But you know, as I grow more in the sports and I become more mature in the sports, and I you kind of figure out what is good and what is not good for you.
That I think it's a key role part of any athlete's program is nutrition. It's one of those things that is at the top of the list before you even get into the starting block. And I think in Jamaica, I think that is lacking in terms of the program. You go out after school training, they don't know if you're hungry, you eat from man or anything.
Hmm.
And you have to go out there and expect to do your best at the end of the day, after you done your classwork and everything that you have to do. Training. And when you go to training, I just remember and I could go back to our days. It's not that we had water set aside for us, other than the standpipe or, there was not anything. There was no Gatorade, anything like that. And it's not that they probably wouldn't have it, but I don't think enough sponsorship was there to support the cricket for me, even though I went in for athletics. So there wasn't the Gatorade on the sideline to replenish anything. Before you go out there, I realized athletes on this side, they have like a nutritious bar. You see some of them pulling out a bar and they eating it and a snacking on something. At
Mhm.
least they are training ready. In Jamaica, the system is you finish class, hit the field early, and you're burning and nothing is being put back.
Yeah.
And I think that affects the athletes without them even knowing. And it affects the program and the condition of an athlete. Sometimes burning out them even more than if them then just sit down and go home.
Yeah, and I
And
think I honestly believe that a lot of the coaches don't pay close attention to their athletes. They don't they don't build that relationship with their athletes where athletes are open to talk about what is going on. Because sometimes it's not just nutrition; it's also mental health. You know, what I mean, mental health is also a big problem. You have um, situation that can happen at home that can affect the kids. They don't because they don't have that relationship with their coaches because they may not be able to trust them. They don't know what they're going to do with their story, so they don't talk about it and stuff like that. But if they can build that camaraderie with their athletes and have that communication with the athletes, they'll get to learn more about the athletes and know what they're going through. There are a lot of athletes who train on hungry stomach. They don't have any food in there. They come to school sometime without breakfast and they don't have any lunch money and they might just hang out with their friend and get something to eat. And I am a true example of that when I was going to school. And when I was training, I give it my best, my all, even though I was hungry.
and the way the school system is set up in Jamaica, Dennis, it is set in a way that we don't have afternoon meal. So simple mean you get break time about 10 o'clock and you get lunchtime 12 o'clock. But after 12 o'clock into training session, there is not a bite to your mouth that you can eat in a class. And by the time you get out, it's time to hit the field.
Hmm.
So you realize that that is something that we probably need to re-examine, even for athletes, then whoever is doing sports. We probably need to put in an afternoon snack for those type of athletes. Make sure they get something before they go on the field. What you think about that?
Well, I concur. I mean, I think that's a great idea, and I think that is where for a lot of these schools and coaches, they probably would say, okay, the past students then should get involved and do more. But I also believe that coaches need to seek out sponsorship. And as a matter of fact, one of my hope and suggestion would be for I don't know if I want to say all high school in Jamaica, but Stets in particular, is to have an athletic director. Um, I believe that the school need to have an athletic director that do a lot of these bidding for sponsorship and all that type of thing because I think they will get more done. And they don't have to ask for it can be either or kind or in kind sponsorship. You have some companies that they could get this stuff that they could give to the kids, like you're saying for before training. Again, we never have that luxury, so I don't. You people who say, "Boy, you know, it's not all that bad," but after training, you spend another 3 hours before you get home. Okay, you have to take the bus and you have to wait because all of the bus they're full and some bus driver don't want to carry school kids. By the time you get home, it's night. You know what I mean? You don't really, man, it's tough, man. It's really tough on the kids.
It is tough. And Dennis, just so you know, I didn't want to brush off this one that you mentioned earlier. You talk about mental health. And I want to just attest that I live in this space where daily, as a nurse, you have to deal with people with mental challenges. People feel like if you're not running up and down on the road, taking off your clothes and kind of naked and just
Mm-hmm.
making crazy comments or kind of hallucinating then on the street that people see you and kind of say, "Well, go on. You're not mad or nothing happening to you." But silently, a lot of people like just like me and you look at them, everything looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks perfect. But within that human being, there is a silent killer, and it's called mental problem. And it goes right across the board, whatever field you're in. And no matter who you be, there's times when you get depressed. Depression is a mental situation. You know,
Yeah.
you have anxiety. Anxiety again fall under that category, mental health problem. Because even before a race, if a athlete is not able to contain himself or manage his body, he could actually lose the race before he started. You
Exactly.
understand?
Yeah.
And if, as you said, that person is not there who kind of, before preparation, is able to dig in and say, assess this athlete and say, guess what? This athlete is pretty much good at what he does. But whenever he go to the races, he doesn't do so well. What is it that is causing that? We have seen, and I'm just going across because I said this go across the board. In the educational system, you have a child that is one of the smartest child in the class, and I'm going back from common entrance days. But now we can say GSAT and so forth. That child every day sits in the class where there's no pressure or anything. And the brightest student, the teacher recognize it. You as a student recognize that, man, that picking them bright so till. But
Mm-hmm.
yet still when they go to the exam, which is the main exam,
Mm-hmm.
where everybody just gonna go public the results and everything. That person freeze in the exam room, you're expecting a manual Hampton pass if you're from St. Elizabeth back in the days. And you hear that child sometimes don't even pass. The same thing with CXC, GCE. You go
Mm-hmm.
up to the level and just to sit that one exam, they just freak out or something. There's
Yeah.
a challenge.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge, man. Um, yeah, and I think people nowadays, especially in Jamaica, they're slowly getting to understand that mental health is it has no boundaries and it's not prejudice. You know what I mean? Mental health can happen to anyone. I mean, when you look at Serena Williams, who we know that is one of our top tennis players, and she's struggling with mental health. And this young one now that is doing so well. I think I don't know if her name is Coco or something like that. She also had mental health issues as well. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. You just need to regroup and come again. You know what I mean? You need to take some time off and take some time for you and just be mindfulness and all that type of thing before you get out of walk. Because if you continue in that regards, and I think Jamaican athletes also, the level of pressure that come down on Jamaican athletes, especially as a matter of fact from the high school level, because track and field is so competitive. I think those are things that need to be assessed during that process. You know what I mean? And I think with the biophotonic scanner that we have, that we probably going to talk about, maybe not now, but later on, I think that is a product, a machine that can identify athletes that need some more nutrition, athletes who are more likely prone to get ill or fall out on the track, athletes who you probably could look at and say, you need to step up your game. You know what I mean? You're not showing as if you have energy. Well, these machines that we have, we be able to tell the coach, say, look, this athlete is not capable of doing this type of workout. So as a result, we are going to pull back on the workout, modify the workout, or make them take a day off or a rest or something and come back again. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, Dennis, you have just called a word, a big word, biophotos, biophoto, photonic scanner. And this may be a word that many of our people in the third world country, even here in the US, don't even have a clue of. So I'm not gonna let you get away with this. I want you to take up that technology because what happened, I remember you told me if you found this technology back when you were doing track and field, you would have been a totally different athlete. So show
Absolutely.
the people what you're talking about, really.
This is it right here. This is the product right here.
All
Yeah,
right.
here. Yeah, this is an awesome product. Uh, I know if I had this product in my corner when I was running track, I think I know that I would be a better athlete. And why? Because it will tell me what I'm deficient in and also what I need to take in order to boost my energy or that will help my performance. The funny enough is that the products that is sold by this company, um, the American athletes, they have been on it. We just didn't know about it. You know what I mean? And this company has sponsored the Olympics for twice. So this amazing, amazing opportunity. And we're going to be talking some more about that as we move along. As we say, it's real talk, real money. So that's where that came in.
Well, we're here already. So I'm just gonna say what you have there. I break it down from a health standpoint since I'm a nurse, and it's good that we complement each other, Dennis. You're an athlete, you know. I'm a nurse, and we kind of see the value of this the moment that we saw it and learn about it. So the technology, it comes in a nice carrying case to just in case somebody don't even know. Nice carrying case.
Hmm.
You could look up the company. It's Pharmanex New Skin. But this device, guys, as Dennis would have said, it uses the principle of light. So what it does in less than 30 seconds, you know, this is so quick. Before you take your clothes off, so we have someone coming on
Oh,
stage, and we have
yeah.
a surprise guest for you guys. But we're gonna just tell you this makes the difference. 30 seconds, and we're able to tell you how healthy you are from a cellular level. And as a matter of fact, you can be recommended something that goes along with it. That will help your body. And it all depends where you are. It's like the gas gauge for your car. You know when you're running on empty when you need to fill up. And that's another thing, Dennis. A lot of people don't even supplement and you're into the athletic where you're using so much energy and not putting back anything. But anyway, Dennis, I'm gonna give you a minute to introduce our guest, which I don't know if Mr. Neil Harris, if you have your phone and auto rotate, you could turn it and let us see how you're coming. No, you'll have to put it on auto rotate. We could give you a minute to do that, Mr. Neil. There you go. Yeah, there you go. The other way. Yes, there you go. Yes. So I'll let Dennis take a minute to introduce our guest who is on board, and then we'll talk further about what we were talking about earlier and the money part of it.
I think you're on mute, Mr. Neil. You're on mute. You're on mute.
All right, he'll come back in. So as we wait for Mr. Harris to come in, which I'll wait until he hits the platform, Dennis, for you to introduce him. So I'll just continue to say that what this does is that it actually can tell you where you are at this minute, and it like a recommendation is there for you, which that makes a difference in the athlete body. You need some energy. That's how you get the edge. Wondering how these people are getting the edge. That's how they're having that. The edge is a first world versus a third world country. Thing they know about here, we don't know about. You know, and that's a
Hmm.
good thing. So, for example, Dennis, before we found this, companies are around for over 40 years. Have we ever heard about it?
Right,
No.
and I never even heard about it. Sponsor the Olympics, and I didn't even know about it. So I don't know if this company was made for us.
Stars is there, but his mic, his video is off, so I can't put him in there. Yeah, so it makes a difference. And I tell you, for me personally, just with my personal health, it makes a big difference because every day I'm running and I'm running. You could be running out of gas and you don't even know. So with that, we said there's a way that athletes can now even earn as they go. And we could tell them about it. We don't need a sponsor anymore, Dennis, because we have found a way that athletes can make their own money from just even by just training there. They can start marketing products from Nike, Puma, Adidas, you name it, whatever under whatever company you love, you can market and start earning. You don't even have to wait on sponsors. Do our countrymen know about this? No, they don't. And that's why we're here to help them along these areas.
Yeah. All right.
All
So,
right. Go ahead, Dennis, introduce our guest.
all right. Welcome, Neil. Uh, just happy to have you here, Neil Harris, one of Jamaica's top coach, high school coach, and by extension, I get to understand that you have coached some top athletes that run national. You were a coach at KC, Monroe, JC, and you are now coaching at Stets. Is that correct? I think you're on mute. You're still on mute.
That little mic button. Oh, he's taking out.
Not sure what happened.
No, he's hitting the wrong button, so he's coming out.
Oh, okay.
Just text him to hit that little button that looks like a mic whenever he comes on. He puts it on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good that we can have top coaches and you will hear and learn about coaches who knows what should be a part of a program. Because a lot of people don't believe like supplementing should be a part of a program. It should be.
It should
If
be.
you're burning, it should be a part of it. How many people I was playing high level cricket in Jamaica at a schoolboy level where I'm playing every single weekend and I didn't take nothing.
I didn't either.
Neil, there's a little button at the end that like a mic. If you hit that button, just touch it and you should be able to speak.
It should be at the lower right
It
hand side.
it just look like a little dot, a little tree.
I don't know
It
if you
looks
can.
like a tree.
I don't know if you can see it here. Let me take a picture and see. So it look like this right here. I don't know if you can.
No, I'm not seeing it. You have to zoom it up.
Like this right here.
Yeah, it's probably to your left too. I'm not sure, but it's just a little like a little U and a little circle in it. Touch that button. See if you call him on the phone, Dennis. So it's like a U, Neil. It's a little U, like how you have a slingshot and then a little O in it. If you touch that button, it will take you off mute.
Yeah, if you look on the screen, you will see it right beside your name. Yeah, so
It's just the button to touch. It's a touch.
Ian, you're on mute now.
Yeah, I wanted him to see when I'm on mute what happened. So he'd see that sign.
Hmm.
I don't know if you want to call him, Dennis, and he'll come back in the meantime. And remember to hang up your phone. You'll probably go out.
Yeah. So the good thing is that we have the
Yeah, Dennis.
yes. There's a small little icon at the bottom, look like an upside.
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. There's a little microphone looking thing at the bottom, and it has a line draw right in the center. If you just touch it.
I'm actually looking at my screen, but I'm not seeing what because I'm actually hearing what you're saying, but I'm not seeing that.
All right.
And you said the microphone is where?
I
On
don't
the
know.
phone, too.
It should be on the bottom. If you look at the bottom now.
It's in the feed,
All right,
when you look at
All right.
us.
Take a screenshot of your phone and send that to me. Let me see if we can.
all right, okay.
Mhm. Make sure we hang up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are important things, and then is that other athletes, we don't take these things important. All right, he'll be good now.
No.
Uh, no.
No. It's still.
I'm gonna take a picture of it, Dennis, and it's gonna be at the bottom of the screen. Once he has it. All right. It Hey Neil, it's gonna be the first signal under your phone. It's not on the phone itself, but the screen of the phone will show you a little signal. It's like a U and a little O in it. If you touch that, it's probably gonna be immediate left or immediate right to you. Yours may be red right now. So if you touch on it, it's gonna change and allow you to come through with the voice.
I sent it to you and put a circle around it. All right. So back to the nutrition. I mean, I don't think. I don't know if the coaches know. Maybe of course, the professional athletes are now. I'm sure they're looking into the importance of nutrition in sports. But at the high school level, I'm sure it is not as serious as it ought to be. And with the array of talent that we have in sports in Jamaica, I believe that should be a top priority. Um, that should be a part of the conversation, how important nutrition is. And also, that should be communicated not only to the coaches, but also to the athletes
And the parents.
and the parents. Correct.
Because you have parents who they feed their kids like junk and they expect them to perform well. And it doesn't work like that.
Right.
You know, it's gonna take effect on the child what you're putting in their body. And I think there should be uh more of a mentorship, as you say, like a director in the sports for that. But like
Mhm.
at least a mentorship program, and it's somebody that comes out and talk nutrition to the child. I never had nobody speak to us about nutrition while I was at States.
Oh
Nobody
no,
did.
nobody at all.
Nobody ever come into the training camp and say, guess what, guys? This is what we do. And to be a top athlete, this is what they're doing at the top. If we can start this very early, then you won't have to worry.
Right. Makes the coach job easy. And not only that, but it also prevent injuries.
Yeah. I
It
was
also,
talking to yesterday to the coach of St. Elizabeth Technical High School cricket team.
you know what? I'm thinking that he probably was thinking 7 his time. Because we in Jamaica is not on the same time. Hmm.
Can't even get him in here now.
Well, I'm glad we have Leo and Gabby who can cut this up. Oh, he's calling me now.
Just let him come out and come back in, and just put on the mic from there.
I've been trying all along to undo, but it's just not moving. So I don't know what the problem is.
Oh,
Come back in, Dennis.
It's
Just
the
come
same one
out.
I've been trying with that you sent me all along, and it's just not moving.
Screen
so
probably giving trouble.
are
I
you?
don't know. I don't know if it's my end or what, but it's not moving.
All right. So let me ask you: are you still logged into the call to with us?
Huh?
Are you still logged on?
Yes, let me
All
go
right.
back on.
All right. No. So log out completely and then try go back in and see
All
what.
right.
Yeah, and just give access to the mic and everything from there,
Yes, and just give access to the microphone.
and the camera.
That again.
So you what I would suggest you do is log off completely for the call that we are on,
Okay.
and then try to log back in, and then give if
All
it
right.
just make sure that the same little button doesn't have the line drawn through it.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Make sure.
Dennis.
Hmm.
So these are important things that I think we overlook some of these things, and it affects our athletes and their performance. So when we are performing the way we are performing now at like the high school level, we
Hmm.
could be doing way better than that, better
Oh,
numbers.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I said the same thing. I just said the same thing to a coach, not a coach, but a parent that I was coaching. They're here from Asia, and I was coaching their daughter before they go back. And I was telling him that he was telling me that the athletes over there they don't really, they don't take it that serious. And I'm telling him that I show him. I said, if this track was in Jamaica's high school, I mean, we would be way, way ahead. There's no way anybody could beat us. All these high school here, they have track in almost all the high school. Can you imagine if all those track was in high school in Jamaica?
Yeah, make a big difference, and that's what Cartwright was talking about yesterday. The facility trainings area, the nutrition, all of those stuff is a struggle.
Hmm. It's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. But all of that can fix. We just have to. We can fix it with with the product that we have.
Well, I tell you, it's all about education. We gotta educate them. I know you're gonna be going to Jamaica sometime in the future, and being the person you are, I know you're gonna pass on the message. You're gonna meet with probably with some of those coaches and so forth. Let them see what you have in your hand and what it does in less than 30 seconds.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sure.
When I found it makes a tremendous difference in my life, my family life, and my kids now. My kids, I tell you, they are lean and they're not working out.
Mm. Yeah.
But it's just that I've been directed in the right direction in terms of their nutrition as early as ever.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to touch on that may help out our athletes in the meantime?
Well, I think also athletes need to have mentor. They it don't necessarily have to be a coach. They could have a mentor outside of track and field, um, who can guide them along. We have a lot of athletes, and not only that, but they also have to be very careful too. I think parents also need to be involved in their kids' athletic program, making sure that who the coaches are, where they're going for training, how many people are going to be there, what kind of workout they'll be doing, where they'll be staying if it's a camp. Parents need to be asking a lot of questions. I don't think parents ask enough questions. You know what I mean? And parents allow their kids to just go and train because they want them to be the next Hussein Bolt, and all that type of thing. So they have to be very, very careful. They have to be very, very mindful and careful of where they're sending their kids and who they're sending their kids to and with. That's one of the key ingredients. Um, and and also they have to also bear in mind that not all that glitter is gold. Uh, a person come and offer you a nice television or a nice refrigerator. You have some parents that they will take it and send their kids off to wherever, whether it's Kingston, wherever they send them away from home without doing their due diligence, research, and all that type of thing. And kids can be in danger when they do that.
There's so much that governs a child, edit there, but
Is he trying to come in now?
yeah, but I can't see him to get him in. Trying everything to get him on here, Dennis, but not changing the layout. Uh, he's out. Sometimes these technical issues, probably it's just one of those technical issues that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You turn off the microphone either, so.
but we really love to hear his views. Being a coach, because as a coach, you got to know your athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every athlete is different. And I think a coach's job is a very difficult one, especially if they're coming from home that basically does not understand what is required to be a great athlete, at least from early. It becomes a more challenge for that coach to take them all the way versus a child who comes in and is very much fearless, ready. They're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Not much the coach have to do, probably just to work on the little farm and so forth, and just some strength work or whatever. But they know what their mission is, what their goals are. And that's where you talk about a mentor. Mentor is very important because you got to identify what they're good at first thing. You got to identify, how we're going to get there because they have a goal, but how we're going to get there. And, with that guidance, it makes a big difference. Take a lot of pressure off the athlete themselves,
Sure.
takes a lot of pressure off the coaching staff. And, you're going to see better results in the performance.
Right. Right. I think one of the questions that I want to ask Coach is, should all athletes be trained the same way, the same workout? Uh, because I don't believe that you should have 10 athletes and you give them the same type of workout, because every athlete is different, and I think that is where we fall short. Is especially the fact that we don't have a lot of coaches that we can say, okay, these athletes cannot manage 8 200s at 22 seconds, but they can manage 8 200 at 23 or 24. So you would separate them from the other kids. Um, or they may be not ready for 200. They might be ready for 150, 120, 130. But do you throw everybody in the same 200 and say, go do the 8 200? I think that is also a problem. I think we miss out on a lot of athletes that probably would have been more successful But because we throw them with the group, we miss out on that.
Yeah, because it's simple. I come out to training. I am not a quarter miler. If I run more than the 200 that I feel comfortable with, I start vomiting. You
Mm,
imagine you put a kid like that now to run two or three, 400. The first 400 that person running at it, him now want come back round at that starting block again, Because it's already taking a toll on their body. So probably you
yeah.
have to work them up. Okay, you're good at the 200. Let's go 220, 250.
Mm,
And then work them up there. But
yeah.
when you just throw them in and they're going to feel, I don't know what you say you feel, but limited. You know, if you see somebody you're running with running this that easily and you're
Mm.
struggling, it's just like when I go to the gym. And I don't love the gym, and I tell you why I don't love the gym.
I don't love the
I
gym.
go to the gym,
You
and when
have
I go to the gym, Dennis, I see some guys in there, they're like, "Rrr, rrr," some
to.
heavy, their bar is about to bend with the weights that's on it. And I go in, all I have over here is 20 pound and 20 pound, and I'm,
20
you
pound and
think these guys,
struggling.
yeah,
You
try
know,
to
yeah,
intimidate you by walking in your direction. They walk in your direction with their chest way out here, and
mm,
like showing out. I'm like, damn, this place is not for me. They don't have a big enough program in here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one thing I believe also that I never pay much attention to is the weightlifting. I know in junior college, our coach makes sure that he gets his workout. So we would have weight we would have weights Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he would make sure that he comes to the weight room and watch every athlete do what he recommended for us to do. After he leave, you can do whatever you want to do. Because a lot of the guys used to lift weights just to be bulky and look whatever for the girls and all that type of thing. But he wants to make sure that he gets his program in, and then when he leaves, you can do whatever you want to do as long as he gets what he wants. So I never really. I remember one Jamaican coach said I used to look different when I was at Blaine College than when I was running professional as a professional athlete. And it's because the coach was behind me, watching me, making sure that I lift the weights. You know what I mean? But after that, the weight room was never my thing, man. Weight room was never my thing at all.
Yeah, so you see, there's a lot of struggle that goes on in the athlete's head, And I tell people, remember the other day we brought on Daniel England, and the title of that was what goes on beyond the finish line, you know,
Hmm.
because most people they just see the athlete over that distance, whether it's 100 meter, 200 meter, a 400 meter, and then you go into the distance. They evaluate everything based on that little distance that is most time finished within a minute or two. But then before the athletes get to that track, you will never know the pressure that they're under and some of the things that they're faced with to actually go out there and you ask them to compete at their best.
Hmm.
I don't know if you can talk of an instance, Dennis, where you probably had
All right, hold
gone
on.
in.
Hold on. Neil is calling me, man.
Dennis,
Yes,
You,
sir.
you can mute, Dennis,
setting
if anything.
because it said the browser blocked the setting and it asked me to edit the browser setting. So I just edit it and then I just put it back on.
I may have to go over to our technical team to see what's going on here.
All right. So we know this one. All right. So probably can stay another 5 minutes. So he said he get even technical support and was not able to get through the browser. They something with the browser. They work it out and it still wouldn't allow them to get connected with us without it being on mute. So I
Wow.
told it. This is what I told him. I say maybe when I come out there, I can do it in a classroom
We,
or something.
we can have a sit down.
Yeah, can have a sit down. We just plan that for because I'm gonna see him on Tuesday, so we can work it
So
out when we see them Tuesday, and even
yeah,
Gabby them probably can meet us there.
we can go in, we can go into the training room and see what they do in the training room too. Yeah.
Hmm.
So we just want to say thanks to the audience, the supporters, for just bearing with us. It is called technical difficulties, system, and system do crash at times. So for that, we're not able to get on one of our top guests, and I know you guys gonna love what he have to say when he comes on as one of the top coach in Jamaica. He has a lot of knowledge across various schools,
Yes.
and as Dennis can tell you much more about him, because for Dennis to invite him on here, he knows that he can empower and impact you know the lives of many youths, and that's what I think we're trying to do, right, Dennis, with this real talk and real money, is to
Yeah.
see how well we can empower youths. People may not understand what is gonna be going on this platform, but I'm gonna tell you, you don't want to miss it. So remember, you go to YouTube and do real talk, real money with Dennis and Ian, and you need to subscribe to that. You gotta go to the TikTok because a lot of things are gonna be coming out on TikTok too, shorter
Hmm.
videos and so forth. You go to the TikTok page, the same thing. Real talk, real money. It's Dennis and Ian. And as I said, you're gonna go to Instagram too. So we wanna be right across every platform, you know, and we're gonna need your support, and we're gonna ensure, and our commitment is that we're gonna empower every single mind, every youth, anyone that comes on the platform will be empowered. And it's not just gonna be physically, but mentally. It's gonna even go into your pocket, because what we have found the fountain of youth, I'll say. So we're gonna help you to live longer, look better, go faster, you name it. But the good thing is, we're gonna help you make money put in your pocket. We see right now, Dennis, a lot of the athletes in Jamaica, they're leaving Jamaica. Not that they really want to leave Jamaica, as we say, we sell out. They don't,
Hmm.
not that. It's because of the money. But what if we can allow our athletes to make money while they're even training, and they
Right.
don't have to worry about it? What you know, Dennis and I, we have found a system that will work for Jamaicans, and they could basically, Dennis, market every major brand down there, from Puma,
Everybody.
Adidas, Nike, every single brand you'll be able to market, and you'll get your commission, and you don't have to do nothing much. The coaches just the same way. This is additional money coming on without you even stepping a foot on a track and feel to run a carpet, anything. You can make money without. You don't even have to wait on a sponsor. But if these people they see what you're doing, definitely a sponsorship is sure, because your marketing there goes before even signing on board with them. So, and it's not
Hmm.
gonna cost you a penny either, guys. So it's good sometime when we network, we work, and we can find things. Between Dennis and I, we have really found something, and we really believe this will help Jamaica as a whole, as a nation, as a country, and especially for our athletes right across the board. Back to you, Dennis.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much to say. You already sum it up. You sum up everything right there. Again, I didn't know about this product until now. and I see where it's beneficial not only to me but also to my family, and I know it also will be beneficial to the athletes. And that is the reason why we are so empowered to take this platform and to take this opportunity to not only to the athlete but also to everyone that see the benefits in Jamaica. Um, we know it's not there yet, but we know it's coming. But if we have the opportunity educate, to educate the populace, then we will do so because we have a responsibility not only to keep it to ourselves but also to share it to the wider community, and that's what we want. We want to make sure every one of you guys stay healthy as long as you can and as best as you can. And if these products can do that, then this is what we need to be doing. And these are all natural products.
Yeah. And the thing is, as I said, they still with that they still have an opportunity to market the products they love.
Right.
So, if you like, say, a Nike brand, that is your brand. If you're just wearing it, why not marketing and make some money? And you're just training, you're not doing anything else. But
Right.
that's where Dennis and I will come in to help the program, and that is to generate revenue into a school, into a club, and that's what is killing our athletes back home in the Caribbean, Dennis. It's that they don't have a system that is generating money. Either they're dependent on the school or they're dependent on the government to do something. And a lot of time, there's not enough to spread across. You know, you find that some school may get and the others they don't even know that it was issued. And
Right.
that's just how it is in Jamaica. But
Yeah.
we wanna bring something to Jamaica that is widespread at every school, every student, every even the parents can be on board and watch their financial standing really just blossom and bloom.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
And then that coupled in now with their body, their physique, their wellness. And that's where I come in, guys. I'm the wellness specialist. You know, people don't know, but the experience that I've gained just being here in the US, working in the health sector for over 13 years, counting. You know, I've gained so much knowledge, so much experience, and so many ways of helping my fellow brothers and sisters. And as Dennis said, it's the responsibility is not to keep it to ourselves, but it's to share it and ensure that we can help each and every one out there be a better person, be a healthier person, better lifestyle, and at the same time, you're earning.
Yeah. So that's it for me on this end. As you know,
Well,
I just go ahead and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the. I think there's a hit the bell.
yeah, there you go. A lot more to come, guys. This is we're just warming up. So,
There's a-
guess what? You'll be the early ones. This is just being open. There's things that not even me and Dennis is aware of the fullness of what is to come. But we're just gonna say this is gonna be big,
It's
big,
gonna be
big, and
big.
you don't wanna miss it. So
Yeah.
subscribe to all those channels: YouTube, Real Talk, Real Money; Instagram, the same, Real Talk, Real Money; TikTok, Real Talk, Real Money, and share it. Subscribe, ring the bell, do anything you have to do, but don't miss out.
Don't
All
miss
right,
out.
Dennis, thanks.
Yeah. Take care.
All right.
Yeah, man. Cool.